We've all heard the phrase king of his castle. Yeah, automatic. I feel like you're the king of our castle, right? It's your home.
Days.
But there's a man named Jesse Huey that felt completely disrespected by his wife and her parents.
Oh, no.
They wanted to take that crown from him. Feeling disrespect, I get being upset, but is there ever a need to resort to violence? And we're going all the way back to March 20th of 2021 when Jesse Huey himself called authorities. He called 911. So let me tell you what's happening in his home. His wife, her name is Linda, had back surgery. So during this, her parents decided to come stay and help out. Her parents are Tanya and Ronald Kohler. So they're at her home and they're helping out. Now, her husband is annoyed by them. He feels like they're completely disrespectful. They've taken over his home.
But they're helping his wife.
Right. But he doesn't want him there anymore. It's been going on for months. They've been coming and going. He said that the mother, Tanya, would just open the door when she wanted, eat what she wanted, and he just felt like it was time for them to leave. Now, when he had the conversation with his wife, she said she didn't want them to leave. So he ended up murdering all three of them.
Oh, my God.
His wife and his in-laws as well. Now, after he finished, he himself called authorities. 911 showed up. He told them, I'm not going to fight you. You can come in and arrest me. Here he is during an interrogation with the police.
I walked in and they're all sitting there in the kitchen. I walked in and I said, Ron and Linda, you need to leave. And my wife said, they're not going anywhere. I'm the half owner of this place. They stay here as long as they want to. Mm-hmm. So I went outside, I got my gun, I walked back in, I shot them all in the head. Then I shot them all in the head again to make sure they were down.
Okay. So where was Ron at when you shot him?
Sitting in my chair at the table.
Sitting in your chair at the table.
And, when I told them they needed to leave, they didn't make a move to get up. They looked at her and decided they were staying.
They just ignored you.
And that's when I decided, all right, then.
I don't feel like Jesse has any remorse whatsoever. He's almost trying to justify why he did this. Ron, his father-in-law, for instance, is sitting in my chair, he says. He's sitting in my chair, as if that's an excuse to go get a gun?
No.
His wife
I'm not going to condone anything he did, but it's one thing to disrespect a man. It's another to disrespect him in his own home. Not saying you go
automatic.
Yeah, I'm not saying you go out there and go do that, but obviously the parents, the father-in-law and the mother-in-law were in the wrong also.
Why? Their daughter does own half the house.
Because
when his wife, Linda, said, I own half this house, where's the lie? Not anymore.
Due to the lack of remorse that he's showing, I think he was fed up. So, it sounds like they were being blatantly disrespectful to him.
I'm not trying to justify. Nobody's trying to justify what he did because that was the wrong thing to do.
There are three people who are no longer living because this man decided he didn't want to be disrespected.
I guess what I'm trying to say is this could have been avoided on everyone's part.
By what? Her decision to have her parents in her home because he didn't want
his home.
Exactly.
He's not going to get away with this.
He hasn't. He was already
That's
sentenced.
why I think he sounds so calm and direct about what happened was because he feels like in his brain he's justified in doing this.
Well, whatever he feels, he's going to have to serve 3 consecutive life sentences with no possibility of parole, according to the judge.
So.
Well, of course, because no matter what he says, how disrespected he felt, nobody in their right mind would do something like this.
No, you're right.
He has the callousness in his voice and the way he just... Well, it's almost like he wants the police to somehow empathize with him and not his wife and the in-laws. There's nothing that the wife said that isn't true. It is half her house. Well, maybe this is what he wanted. He wanted to go live on his own. His father was at home during this whole incident, and his father is still living there. So nobody gets the house now.
What do you mean his father was at home? His father saw the murders?
His father was upstairs at the house while he did all this to his in-laws and his wife.
Oh, my God.
His father's still living inside that house. Now he's by himself.
That's an interesting path to home ownership. That's an interesting route.
Well, in today's economy, I guess is what it is.